Honestly, guys, I don't think I can really talk about this movie without bringing up the subject of what happened to Judith Barcy after making this movie. I was always really a big fan of this movie when I was a really, really little kid. It's just one of those basic movies that I like to put in all the time. But when I became a teenager, I started studying Don Bluth movies, and I found out what happened to her, and now I cannot watch this ending anymore without breaking down into tears. Seriously, it is really sad. I'll talk about it in a minute. From now, let's get on with the review. All Dogs Go to Heaven. So All Dogs Go to Heaven stars Burt Reynolds as Charlie Bucket. Charlie Bucket is a dog. He's a con artist. He's a gambler. Basically, he's not an all-around good guy. I mean, he has a heart, but he does a lot of bad things. I don't know how he gets into heaven in the first place, but hey, movie's got a movie, y'all. But anyway, his partner Carface doesn't really want to be partners with him anymore, and he is plotting to get rid of him once and for all. And by get rid of him, I mean run him over with a car. One thing about Don Bluth, he's not afraid to really go the distance when it comes to little kid movies. And for a lot of his movies, a lot of producers tell him that he needs to cut these scenes, a lot of scenes down, so that it won't be too scary for little kids. Like for example, the monster storm from An American Tail, the Tyrannosaurus Rex from The Land Before Time, and the devil in this movie. All scenes were cut down because producers were telling him that it was too scary to be in little kid films. But Don Bluth was the guy that said little kids can handle absolutely anything just so long as it has a happy ending in the end. That's a great way of looking at it, because I could handle this movie even though there are some scenes that are a little bit much. I mean, I never really heard of a kids movie where people would drink, then the main character would get hit by a car, or that scene where someone's going to hell. That was pretty dark. But anyway, Charlie goes up into heaven, but then he collects this watch, a watch that is basically his life. The watch is basically your life, and when it stops, it means you're dead. But he recharges it, and he goes back to Earth. And now the rest of the movie would continue. Anyway, he teams up with his friend Itchy, and they go to Carface's place, and that's where they run into Anne-Marie. Anne-Marie is a little girl that's being held by Carface. She can speak to animals, and Carface just only uses her so that she can find out who is going to be the winner in these so-called races, so that he can always win. Charlie, saying that he wants to rescue her, when you really know exactly what he wants to take her away and use her so that he can start winning races himself. He doesn't really sound like a good guy when you really think about it. And this is our main character, by the way. However, he seems to grow a conscience as the movie goes on, and you can definitely see that connection that he has with Anne-Marie as the movie goes on. So for the most part, All Dogs Go to Heaven is definitely a classic for me. I enjoy the movie, and this movie is a little bit more emotional for me now that I'm an adult and I found out what happened to Judith Barcy. In other words, this movie is a whole lot more to me than just another simple Don Bluth movie. And it's a real shame for me, because what I also found out is that this movie did not really succeed in the box office, more or less like An American Tail and The Land Before Time did. But it did make its money back with VHS sales. Yeah, kids, tell your parents what a VHS is. You'll find out what it is. So I'm glad that it did find success in other ways. And I will say All Dogs Go to Heaven is classic. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to get a little bit serious when I talk about Judith Barcy. Judith Barcy was a very young actress. She plays Anne-Marie in this movie, and she plays Ducky in The Land Before Time. She also played the little girl from Jaws the Revenge, aka Jaws 4, the one movie that everyone absolutely hates. Yeah, she was the little girl in that movie. Anyway, when she was 10 years old, while she was asleep, her father came home drunk, went straight up to her room, and shot her in the head. I can't understand that. That is very tragic. I don't like the fact of little kids being in danger. This is the reason why I really ranted when it came to the Cuties trailer. I've never seen Cuties, nor do I really plan to. If you want to know my opinions on it, just look up my Cuties trailer review, and you will hear everything that I think about when you put kids in danger. And For this, I just had no words for it. I was just completely lost. I mean, this is an actress that I've been watching my entire childhood. I've always had a loving family. My mother and father were always really great for me. They were really good parents. And for her, she had a terrible father. I don't know how to explain that type of stuff. So I gotta say, rest in peace, Judith Barcy. You will be missed, and you will be remembered. So guys, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Have you seen it? What did you think of it? Whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Also, I noticed that a lot of you guys were talking about me getting a new microphone, and I got a new microphone. Yeah, I borrowed it from my job, so I will have to get one for myself pretty soon. But whatever you thought, comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.